Pet Talk TV. We're here today with Tara Jules, who is one of the owners of Dog Training Ireland Ballycoolan. Now today we're going to talk about difficult dogs, but particularly dogs that will pull on the lead. And you know, when you're out for, maybe you're not your dog, but I know my dog is one of them, and when you're bringing him for a walk, he's pulling 10 foot ahead, and if he could get further on he would, and nothing seems to stop him. So today I'm going to ask Tara, how do we deal with dogs like this? It'll just make life easier for anyone. So Tara, tell me, how can we deal with it, and can you tell us a bit more about what you do here in Dog Training Ireland?
Dog Training Ireland is like a one-stop shop. So we train people to become professional dog trainers. We do training classes where we teach people how to teach their dogs to walk on a loose lead, how to recall, how to sit, how to do their basic obedience. We have a groomer station, we do puppy training, everything and anything to do with your pet dog.
Cool. So, I mean, it seems like it's the ideal place. I've sent dogs to Tara, and usually it's because a dog has a behavioural issue, but this, it would seem, is that you can get your dog trained and get socialised, etc. So,
yep.
Great.
We socialise them through our daycare. We have a daycare which is exactly the same as a kid's creche, I suppose, just replace the children with dogs. But getting back to the point of pulling, it is a very serious issue and a safety issue. So dogs that pull can cause damage to themselves around their neck area, and also they can cause damage to their human owners. We've had people come to us who have had broken hips,
from falling.
Yeah, from falling, their skin off their knees, pulled muscles, all neck muscles being pulled. So it is a safety issue, a health and safety issue. So we have to take it very seriously.
Yeah, I've seen people where they're walking their dogs and everything's going nicely, and then there's another dog who shoots out across the road, and the dog just shoots across,
exactly.
and then the owner's down on the road, and if there's a car coming, someone gets hit.
Yeah, exactly. And a lot of times we've seen dogs that have actually went out in front of cars, and that's an issue as well, obviously, for the people in the car, because they might swerve to avoid the dog. So equipment is very important too. So the long flexi leads that kind of release and retract, you have to be very careful how you use them and where you use them. Obviously not close to a road, because we've seen so many dogs on the flexi lead, the person can't ream it back in, and then they're out in front of traffic.
Or even, I mean, I've used those as well, and sometimes you hit the clicker in the wrong way, and he's going further, and there's traffic coming, and you're trying to get him back in, and
you just can't. Yeah.
So they have a place.
They do. Yeah. They do, to give the dog some freedom, but not off lead. So they do have a place.
Great.
But to teach dogs loose lead walking, it's very important that you're consistent. Regardless of what equipment you're using, you want to make sure that the dog understands that if there's tension on the lead, forward movement becomes unavailable. So they're able to learn that if there's tension on the lead, they continue to walk, so we need to just teach them the opposite of that.
So are you saying that if there's tension, which is the dog pulling, that effectively is kind of saying to the dog, go forward?
Yes, exactly. That's what they've learned. That's how we train them.
And stop them, and he thinks, they want me to go faster.
Exactly.
Great.
Plus, if there's any discomfort, so if you're correcting the dog, constantly correcting them for pulling, they're actually going to try and move away from you and away from that correction. So lots of times we'll see people continuously trying to correct the dog, but it's making the problem worse, because they'll obviously want to move away from that. That's just natural. If somebody was correcting you, you would naturally want to move away from them.
Absolutely.
So it's not a difficult thing to train. We do a game that we play to reteach the dog that slack on the lead means that you will get to move forward and you will get to reach whatever it is you want to reach, and we'll show you that later. And then ultimately with dogs who have pulled for maybe a long time, maybe months or years, then we use a primary positive reinforcer. So we use food treats at the beginning to tell the dog, to pay them essentially when they're getting it right, and then we phase those food treats out fairly quickly and put it on cue. So we might teach them close, to come in close, but basically the dog has to learn that when they feel pressure here, so if they pull against their lead, that this means that they're not moving forward anymore.
It's just listening to you there, and just something comes to mind that I know a lot of people would bring their dogs to the beach or bring them to either the race course or somewhere. it's to give them the open space so that they can exercise the dogs. But if they had control over their dog, they could just go up and down the street outside. They don't need to. They could go through town. They could go through anywhere, and it would be perfect without having to get in the car and drive to Phoenix Park or something like that. And then, of course, that brings in the other issue that when you're in a Phoenix Park, there's a lot of other dogs there.
Yeah.
And a dog shoots across a field at the deer or something, you know.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it really is. It's such a basic requirement of having a dog to be able to exercise him. And if you can do it properly, it makes life so much easier for everybody, really, doesn't it? And the dog enjoys it. And I often think that they enjoy going for a walk on the lead, sometimes more than actually just being let loose. You know, because there's that contact, I think, between themselves and the owner. And maybe I'm wrong, but it's just something I thought, you know.
Yeah, that's true. They do like the bond. I mean, there is a bond when you're walking your dog. It does have to be comfortable for the dog and comfortable for the owner to work. And that's our goal, is to teach people how to safely teach their dogs to walk on a loose lead without overly correcting and without damaging that human to pet bond.
So that's it from Pet Talk TV for today. So if you have any queries or emails, please send them to paulkellyvet.com. So that's it. Thank you, and see you next time.